America is it. So take a deep breath of freedom and let's keep America great. But in the name of keeping America great, our first guest knows all about this. Let's bring in Eric Trump. Eric, how you doing, boss?
I'm doing well, Carl. You know, I have to say, it was a beautiful quote that you used, the Ronald Reagan quote. I actually happened to use that. You might remember this at my RNC speech, and it's spot on, Carl. I mean, they'll do anything in this country, and you see it every single day, and you report on it. You do a better job than anybody reporting on it, but they want to get rid of our Pledge of Allegiance. They want to get rid of our national anthem. They want to get rid of, under God. Frankly, you mentioned the fireworks. I'm glad you did. I mean, remember last year at Mount Rushmore on 4th of July, I was there with my father and the great governor of that great state, Kristi Noem, and we had the greatest fireworks celebration above Mount Rushmore with literally, B-2s, B-1, B-2s flying overhead. And I mean, it was incredible. I mean, there was no more patriotic day. And then guess what? Biden and the Democrats this year, you know what they do? They cancel the fireworks over Mount Rushmore. No better, more iconic symbol of America than that, and they cancel the fireworks. I mean, there is a war on this country. There is a war on this flag, and it's quite frankly, it's one of the reasons my father ran to become commander-in-chief. It's one of the reasons, frankly, he won. People are sick and tired of the nonsense, and those college students, Carl, they make you just shake your head. I mean, I can't wait till at one point in their lives they actually travel overseas, hopefully to some of the places you've been and that you've served in, and actually realize how incredible this country is, because make no mistake about it, and I've seen a lot of corners of this world, we live in the greatest country on earth, hands down, bar none. It's not even close, and you know that as well as anybody, as a person who fought over there to defend all the things that we hold true as Americans.
Right. Well, that's the thing, is all these people, they're like, oh my God, America is so terrible and I can't stand it. We're oppressive. I'm like, okay, then there's the door. They'll never take that ticket. But I want to talk about this keeping America great. Your dad's been out of office for like 6 months now, and he's still garnering these massive crowds, which is like when he's back on stage, I'm just like, thank God he's back. But we saw this Save America rally past Saturday. We carried the full thing right here on Newsmax. Tell us how it went. Tell us about the energy, and what are you seeing now that he's back in the game?
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, I spent the entire day with him. In fact, I literally left him to come see you, Carl, 2 minutes ago. But everywhere he is, he does. I mean, 45,000 people are coming out. Literally in this country, you have no voice piece anymore for 75, 80 million Americans who are out there, right? Because you have the media, which is effectively the lobbyist, aside from you guys and, very few select others, but they're effectively the lobbying arm of the Democratic Party. And you have the Democrats themselves and, the narratives that they push all day long. And so there's this vacuum in this country right now. There's this vacuum for 75, 80 million people, those people that we were talking about a second ago who love the flag and love the United States military and love what this country stands for and loves the fundamental principles of freedom and 4th of July and those fireworks. And they literally have no one, and so it's actually causing them to flock to my father like even never before. I mean, my father's always had an incredible following. He's created a movement never before seen in politics. But honestly, Carl, I mean it, and I saw it a couple minutes ago. I mean, the amount of people who are there clapping alongside the road, and we're in a pretty liberal spot in New York, and I'm telling you, the support is unbelievable right now. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, but it's also the contrast too. You went from the message of "Make America Great Again" to, well, I don't know whatever Biden's mumbling these days, but the contrast is so stark. And to see him back on the campaign trails, getting a lot of people involved, but it also seems like they're doing everything. Like the left just, I don't know what it is, but they're going out of their way to paint this as some horrible, sexist, istophobic, phobophobic, oppressive country. This Cori Bush, we just talked about her, an elected member of Congress, tweeted this yesterday: when I say the 4th of July is about American freedom, remember this: the freedom they're referring to is for white people. This land is stolen land, and black people still aren't free. What do you make about something like that?
Well, it's an ironic quote, especially coming from her, given that she's one of the most powerful people in the United States government. I mean, she's a congresswoman. I mean, she's doing awfully well, right? I mean, and it's really actually kind of baffling. But Carl, a lot of times I actually think they use this to distract from their horrible policies. I mean, you mentioned Biden a second ago, but look what's happening. Look at energy prices in this country. Look at inflation in this country. Look at, the total lack of respect, toward this country by all of our adversaries. Look at the way China treats him, and look at the way Russia treats him, or look at the way the rest of the world treats this guy. I mean, energy prices are going crazy. Our military is not, right? I mean, they're putting handcuffs on the military. There's no one who can speak better to that than you. His policies are disastrous. I mean, you go into Home Depot to buy a 2x4 right now, and it's, $12, whereas under my father it was, $2.99, right? I mean, that's what's happening in this country. His policies aren't working. Then you go down to the southern border and you look at the disaster on the southern border, and then you look at the fact that he literally can't get out a sentence without, fumbling.
Flashcard or
you have a lot
something.
of people. You have people who were kind of 50-50 in the last election that might have pulled the handle toward him. And they're regretting their decision right now because you might not have liked a mean tweet or what you perceived as a mean tweet, but there's one thing you can't say about Trump. He was a very honest president. There's no one who was a greater cheerleader for the United States of America than him. I mean, he would go out in this beautiful red hat that said USA on it. I mean, where is that patriotism with Biden? Where is that patriotism with Kamala? I mean, in fact, it's the exact opposite. He was a great cheerleader for this country. He was a great fighter for this country. And frankly, his policies were awesome. And his policies led to tremendous prosperity for our great nation. And you're seeing the exact opposite. I mean, it's been 5 months now?
Yeah.
Look what this guy's done. Look at the way this guy has unraveled this country in such a short period of time. And I think it's actually going to position my father really, really nicely for 2024 if he decides to run. And I actually think, 2022 in terms of Congress is going to be just a landslide because people get it. I mean, people truly get it.
The Democrats are like the gift that keeps on giving. We just let them talk, and this is what they do. So hopefully people will get it. Eric, I thank you so much for taking the time to come on tonight. But real quick, I got about 20 seconds left. What is the thing you would say to that person who's 50-50 on the fence?
Listen, you want a person who loves this nation. You want a person who cares about this nation. You want a person who's never been in government before and a person who doesn't need the job. My father doesn't need this job. He did it because he saw a country that was going down the tube, and it's happening again right now. That's why he put everything aside.
Everything.
And Carl, you see the way they attack us.
Yeah.
You see the way they attack us and they come after us and they weaponize politics and you see what they try and do. But my father loves this nation. We as a family love this nation. We'll never stop fighting for the greatest country in the world, which is the United States of America.
Yeah, for that we are eternally thankful. Thank you very much, Eric Trump. Appreciate you coming on.